I likely don't need to tell you that on this Wednesday, November the 11th, 2020, we mark the 102nd anniversary of the armistice of the Great War. Here in Canada, on that day, we celebrate Remembrance Day, and we commit ourselves to the memories of those who fought and died for our country in that war and in the other conflicts that claimed the lives of our loved ones over the years since. And we do all of that on the day of the armistice, on November the 11th, at the 11th hour in the 11th month, the day that marked the beginning of the end. The close of war, the end of death and violence, and the beginning, hopefully, of peace. We remember those who served and died on the day that we received their gift. And so Remembrance Day calls us to respond in a few ways. First, we remember. We call to mind our losses, the great loss of life and love, of lost innocence and disappeared futures, and we say the names of those from among us who gave their lives. They were ours, and we will remember them. Second, we commit to honoring that great and hard-won gift of peace. Peace within our communities, peace with our neighbors, and even the hard-won peace between warring nations. We commit to enjoying what is good and right, what was delivered into our hands at great cost, and we even commit to making the small sacrifices required to make our peace a lasting one. We commit to talking and listening to one another. We commit to the work of peacemaking and peacekeeping, of mutual care and mutual accountability. We commit to holding a few things in sacred common, and many things in attentive diversity. And finally, we commit to holding ourselves and our leaders accountable. Together, we have the power, as our enemies once did, to commit great wrong and to cause much suffering. We've done it before too. But today we remember the great cost of injustice, and we commit to accountability. Together we have the enormous capacity to do what is right and good. And on Remembrance Day we recommit to those things. These are our civic duties, and we will recommit to them this coming Wednesday. But today is Sunday morning, and today we celebrate our lives as disciples of Jesus Christ, and we recommit to our Christian vocation. Our faith should inform our civic life. The teaching of Jesus, through our witness, offer much that is good and whole and worth imitating. But the two things, faith and culture, are not the same. Today's readings, though they do not fill in exactly what it means to be a Christian, or tell us exactly what it looks like to be a follower of Jesus, do tell us about the need for constancy in that faith, however it looks. It tells us about the needs to nurture our faith and to be constantly shaped by it. The Gospel this week follows one of Jesus' parables. In this parable, a number of bridesmaids are called to attend a wedding which will begin, aptly enough, when the groom arrives. It's hard to do it without him. But no one knows when he will arrive. All come prepared with lamps to light the dark, but only some bring what is needed to maintain those lamps for the whole wait, for a long wait. Those who are unprepared, whose supply is not constant, they must leave, find more oil, and miss the moment of the groom's coming. We are the Christian church. We are called not only to be good citizens, but to be shining lights of faith, witnesses to God's love by our love, witnesses to God's faithfulness by our faithfulness, God's forgiveness by our forgiveness, and God's mercy by our mercy. This is what church offers nation. This is how we witness to God's peace. And in order to meet the unending demand for love and mercy and forgiveness, we are called to be constant in our faith, constant in prayer, and constant and ready followers of Jesus. And I pray that when the time comes, we will be found ready, having followed Jesus in war and in peace, and having been witnesses to God's light and healing through both. Amen.